Yes.
Or is it insurance items?
Either one would be correct.
Okay, insurance stuff.
Yeah.
Here on the Highsmith Auto Morning Show. And, if you need to get your car, truck, SUV checked out, get out to Highsmith Auto Motor. Let help you out. All right. Time to take a look at what's happening in the world of insurance, brought to you by Bryan Insurance Agency.
Yeah. I try to keep an eye out for, and remember when people ask me questions, I jot down so we could answer. But what we're going to talk about today are homeowners policies, which, some people think buying a homeowners policy is about as exciting as, going to get a root canal, but it's necessary.
Okay, but root canal can be exciting.
Well,
I
guess that's true. Yeah. Depending on the medication they give you and all that. But anyway, but seriously though, homeowners insurance is important, but it's also important to understand that it doesn't cover everything, and you need to make sure that you understand what your coverage is. My favorite place to go and someday I want to visit this place, the Insurance Information Institute, but they did a survey, and 50% of homeowners didn't understand how their company would calculate a loss on their home. So, it's pretty across the board that people don't understand. They just buy the policy, move on with their life, and they sometimes don't find out until after a claim, and that's never good. You want to know before something happens. So,
these are three things your house insurance policy may not cover.
Right. Okay. So, expensive jewelry and fine art, and your value, what you think is expensive or not expensive is up to you. But while those,
so like that velvet picture of dogs playing poker,
that could be art to you. But
okay.
But my point is that while you may have some insurance under your homeowner's policy for jewelry and art, it's not going to cover over a certain amount. Usually it's about $1,500, depends on the company, and it's not going to cover anything that could possibly happen. So you think about jewelry. If you lose your wedding ring, that's not covered under your homeowner's policy. So if you have jewelry items, art items, also firearms, things like that, talk to your agent, understand what your coverage is. There may be a way to endorse your policy to have better coverage, more coverage, what you might need for that. So that's a big one that people usually don't find out until the hard way. Yeah. And then the second one, I know you're going to think, why are you talking about this? Sinkholes. It's rare, but it's not unheard of. It does. And 20% of the United States land is susceptible, including the state of Texas, to sinkholes. And that is not covered under a homeowner's policy. You would have to have a separate, that goes along with earthquake and flood and mud landslides. So that's something,
Thinking about the sinkhole thing, what would be kind of tough if your house gets swallowed up, your foundation gets swallowed up, and you can't rebuild your house on the land because there's no land to build on.
Right, yeah. So, of course, none of us think that's going to happen, but that's just one that when it does, there's a lot of surprise policyholders. So, and then the third one is, I think, something that might be more common, and that is if you have a swimming pool at your house, you need to talk to your insurance agent and make sure that you are with a company that knows you have a swimming pool and what requirements they have. They may have requirements that there's a locked gate, certain how tall the diving board could be, all of that. I'm not talking about damage to property of the swimming pool. That's a whole different subject. But I'm talking about if somebody gets hurt in your swimming pool, the liability on your homeowner's policy may or may not cover that depending on how it's written. So if you have a swimming pool, talk to your agent and make sure.
So let's say you got a pool, no fence around it, you got a diving board that's wide open, that sort of stuff. Somebody gets hurt, you go to your insurance agency and they're going like, hey, you didn't follow the proper protocol here, so we're not paying.
It's very possible that could happen. And so because there's so many different companies and so many different policy forms, don't wait till after the fact. Make sure that your company knows that you're following their guidelines so that there's no surprises.
I guess if you have something at your home and you're kind of considering or wondering if it's covered fully right or whatever the case may be, probably the best thing to do is call and find out because, everybody's got something at their house that, they're concerned about, if it's going to be covered or not.
That's right. And if I've said it once, I've said it a million times, find out before the accident. Don't wait to be educated when it's too late to do anything about it.
So if you're like asleep in the middle of the night and a shelf full of pans fall off the wall and crash and tear up something, has that ever happened to you?
It has happened to me today.
Oh, it happened to you today?
Yeah, it
wow. So do we need to file a claim?
No, I don't think we had that much damage. The pets were okay. The floor seemed okay. I don't think anything suffered too great of a loss. Just scared me really badly.
Do we have a big hole in the wall now?
Didn't see one, no. But
Do I got to fix that?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want me fixing it.
I'll put that on my list of things
Yeah,
to do.
it's not a priority.
But there are. I mean, if we'd have had a rim rat sitting there and it had crashed through it, we probably would have needed to call somebody.
That's a very good point. Yes. Fortunately for everybody involved, we have no fine art at our house.
We have no fun hunting at our house. So that's the way it goes. But all right, if some folks need to get hold of you guys, talk to you and find out information, or hey, haven't checked their homeowners policy, or they need one, how they get hold of it?
Well, you can call us at 549-2525. Come visit us, second floor, Sierra Bank Building, or visit us on the web, www.bryanins.com. You can also visit us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
All that good stuff. So give her a shot at Bryan Insurance Agency. All right, we've hit the top of the